Okay, what you're about to see was originally intended to be an online animated series for my website, but after putting the pieces together, it turned out to be more of an idea for a movie that could be made in the format along the lines of Harry and the Hendersons, with a splash of uh, Mighty Joe Young, maybe. Um, and after watching it, keep an open mind. I think you'll see there's lots of ways to go with this. Hopefully, we can get this made into a movie and we can make some money. It really is a good idea. The editing and the sound quality isn't quite great because I'm not an expert at that stuff. But I was just screwing around with Windows Movie Maker, and this is what I ended up with. So watch it, have fun, and thanks a lot. Does it look like I'm on drugs? Does you think I'm on drugs? I'm not on drugs. Does it look like I'm on drugs? Does you think I'm on drugs? I'm not on drugs. My name is Detective Sergeant Racer Sharp. I'm a cop. I work the city of Chicago. My partner and I have been working at Coco's truck stop in the north end of Chicago. And this big ape is my partner, Mean Mo Green. And this lovely lady is Mo's wife, Tanya Green. Well, I mean, ex-wife. Tanya was a real celebrity around Chicago. She'd been in the newspapers quite often lately. She's been billed as the next Olympic hopeful to win gold. Mo was very proud of Tanya and loved her deeply, as she loved him deeply for his big banana. This is Coco's truck stop. This is where we have been working for the last 4 days, trying to apprehend the two suspects believed to be the shooter and the man who ordered the hit on Tanya. This is Louis DeLitt, underworld crime boss, and believed to be the man who ordered the hit on Tanya. He's also the owner of Coco's truck stop. This man goes by many names, also known as Jimmy Coco, Jimmy LaFuzz, Fuzzy Jimmy, and Coco Pop, and the worst one of all, Black Eyes Coco. And this is prime suspect number 2, believed to be the man who actually pulled the trigger on Tanya, one of Louis DeLitt's monkeys, only known as Big Blue. And Mo's been in the news a lot lately too. This is one. It was bitter cold that morning as Mo and I lay in wait waiting for our two prime suspects to show. All of a sudden, we spotted Louis the Lip, scampering across the parking lot, heading for the cold storage unit. Working this truck stop undercover, we learned some pretty interesting stuff, like a new narcotic was being manufactured, stored, and shipped right here from this location. We've been able to question users of the drug, and they've only been able to describe its effects with illustrations kind of like these. We knew this new drug was on the streets, but we had no idea where it was coming from until now. We learned from our narcotics laboratory that this drug was being manufactured from the sex organs of this weird-looking creature. And in order to keep its hallucinogenic properties, it must be kept at 45 degrees or less. And that's right where Louis the Lip was headed, the cold storage unit. Then suddenly, from out of nowhere, with a tremendous roar, a woman on a hot cycle drove in and met the Lip in front of the cold storage unit. We watched as Louis and the woman exchanged packages, but there was really nothing we could do. All we could do is take note and watch as the woman sped off. We were hoping to get this guy, Big Blue, and this guy, Louis the Lip, in the same room together. We waited all day hoping Big Blue would show up. 12 hours had passed, but no Blue. And it was starting to get dark. The sun was fading fast. We thought it would be best just to wait for another day. Technical razor sharp. If you remember from last time, our two heroes, Razor, that's me, the hero, and my partner, Mean Mo Green, that's him. We're hot on the tail of Louis the Lip, Chicago's top mobster and prime suspect in the murder of Mo's wife, Tanya, who was shot while training for the next Olympiad by this big ape, Louis Thug and doer of dirty deeds done dirt cheap, known as Big Blue. We also think the motive for Tanya's murder was to eliminate the competition, so this woman, Tits McGraw, Louis' girlfriend, could defend her gold champion status. What kind of an evil mind would do such a thing, especially to such a pretty girl who doesn't wear panties? I sure hope the hell Mo never finds out that Tanya was pregnant and I would have been named the father. Yes! That big-ass ape would have made monkey meat out of me. Well, okay, back to our story. We went to Judge Fishbaum to get a search warrant to search Louis' cold storage unit. You know, he's a crotchety old son of a bitch. He was real hesitant, didn't really want to give it to us. But he signed it and off we went. We arrived at Coco's truck stop approximately 10:15 a.m. We approached the cold storage unit, armed with our warrant. The unit door was open, so we took that as an invitation. We entered with caution. Chicago PD, we have a warrant to search cold storage. As I looked around, I saw hundreds of bottles of it. Then I looked up and saw DeLitt. I could feel his cold, black eyes piercing my skin. Oh, I had a real bad feeling about this one. Things could get real hot real fast. But then his eyes were on me. As I handed him the warrant, I could feel his cold black eyes just staring at me. Then all of a sudden, DeLitt yelled out, "Get him, Blue!" Stay tuned for the next episode of Detective Razor Sharp Part 3. Just then, Big Blue stepped out from the cold box. His eyes were fixed on Mo. And then, Louis had shut out the lights and it went black. As Big Blue and Mo went head to head, I went after Louis. As I got out the door, I looked over and saw Louis jumping atop a truck. And he was gone. I couldn't worry about Louis now. I had to get back and check on Mo. As I was running up to check on Mo, I saw Mo running down the street, chasing after that woman on a hot cycle with Big Blue on the back. Mo, return! As Mo and I got closer together, I could see that Mo was bleeding from his forehead. Mo, you okay? That's all right, Mo. We'll get him. I'm mad too. Big Blue being there kind of caught us by surprise. We weren't expecting that. Maybe we should have. But they both got away. There was nothing left for Mo and I to do but go back to headquarters and regroup. On the way back to headquarters, Mo started telling me about his previous encounter with Blue. I didn't know that he even knew Blue. Apparently they were in police training together, and Blue was rejected. All the way back, all Mo would sign was, "Mo hate Blue, Mo hate Blue." Apparently his feelings ran pretty deep. Then he started in over and over with, "Blue bad gorilla, Blue bad gorilla, Blue bad gorilla, Mo hate Blue." Yeah, I don't care for him much either, Mo. I'd really like to know how DeLitt ended up with a rejected police gorilla. Louis bad man. Louis bad man. I think Mo was trying to tell me something a little bit more than just Louis was a bad man. Now Mo and I really have our work cut out for us. Now we got to find him. Then we got to deal with him. I think both of us were feeling kind of down in the dumps, but we weren't done. We'll get him. Tune in next time for the continuing adventures of Sergeant Detective Razor Sharp. In this episode, Sergeant Sharp meets his partner for the first time. The beginning. Partners. The Adventures of Detective Razor Sharp, an original pictographic animated series. Part 1, The Partnership. Sergeant Sharp arose at 08 o'clock, like he normally does every day of the week, to get ready to go to work. But this day is going to change his life forever. This is the day that he meets his new partner, Mo Green. when he's about to get the shock of his life. Detective Sharp is kind of a loner, a lone wolf, you might say. And he doesn't particularly like working with partners. But when he sees who his next partner is going to be, he just about flips his wig. And this is Captain Munson. He's about to introduce Razzor to his new partner. Come on over here, detective. I want you to meet your new partner, Mo. Come on, Cap. You know I don't work well with partners. I just never have. For some reason, they just can't tolerate me. That's why I picked this partner. I don't think you'll have any trouble with him. Besides, he's fresh out of school. Fresh graduate. He needs somebody to help him show the ropes. Damn it, Cap. You're sticking me with a rookie? As Captain Munson and Razzor walked to the rear of the van, Captain raised his arms up and told Razzor, "Now you be watching yourself. Very careful here now, boy." The captain flung open the doors, and this is what he saw. Son of a bitch, Cap! You gotta be fucking kidding me! A goddamn monkey? Whoa, 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 Cap! What's he doing? He's talking to you, detective. He's signing. What is he, some kind of gangster gorilla? Flashing signs like that scared me half to death. That damn gorilla almost caused me to shit myself, Cap. Don't ever do that. Warn people. Okay, now, I've just scheduled you a 5 o'clock class tomorrow. You're going to have to take, well, I'm sorry to tell you this, son, but you got to go back to school. You have to learn how to communicate with your partner. Well, there is one more thing there, detective. Come here, let me talk to you, son. Now, you see, the only way we could get approval for, to get your partner here is to register him as a K-9 unit. You know how, the K-9 units are all sleeping, living. You know, this just keeps getting better and better, Cap. Any more bad news? And, as departmental policy, you're going to have to follow the same regulations as the K-9 units. Yes, you're going to have to take Mo home. Razzor stood there for a while, dumbfounded. Nothing but silence. Oh, hell no. Forget that idea, Cap. My landlady will shit. There's no way I'm gonna... Oh, forget. And then, I quit. That's all there is to it. I quit. It's just that simple, Cap. I quit. Now, son, be reasonable. We've already talked with your landlady, and everything's going to be just fine. How in the hell does he figure everything's going to be just fine? My ass. And that was the beginning of a long-lasting relationship between Sergeant Sharp and Mo. My name is Detective Sergeant Razzor Sharp. I work for the city of Chicago. Currently on assignment at Coco's truck stop, investigating the murder of my partner's wife, Tanya, an Olympic ice skater who was shot during practice for the upcoming Olympics. This investigation has turned up some very interesting facts. For instance, the woman we thought as Tits McGraw is not Louis Lidlip's girlfriend. She's actually his wife and now goes by Tits DeLip. We also found out that Tits DeLip, recently Tits McGraw, was the stepsister of Tanya Green. And according to their mothers, they hated each other, in constant competition with each other to see who was actually the best at everything. And Tits bested Tanya most of the time. But this time it looked like Tanya was going to be the one bringing home the gold, not Tits. And she just couldn't have that. So what does she do? She asked her mobster boyfriend to have her whacked. Now this is a man that we call C-Note. We call him that because he sees everything and takes note. This is one of our most valuable resources, the confidential informant, or CI. But we prefer C-Note. He's been directly responsible for helping us rid Chicago streets of some of the most dangerous criminals. Some people can just smell a cop. C-Note's able to get into places that we never could. And this little bit of information just came to us, courtesy of C-Note. Judge Fishbaum, the judge who issued our warrant, the Superior Court judge, is actually, I can get you off. This judge has thrown out more cases than any 3 judges combined. And he's related to this man. I will get you off. His brother, I will get you off, a Russian-born chemist responsible for the drugs that have hitting the streets of Chicago as of late. And our narcotics laboratory has turned up a bit more information about this. Remember those pictures we got from the users of the drug who could only illustrate them? Well, this is why. Well, it seems as though once the female is inseminated, the embryo is taken out and freeze-dried. Both the male and the female are grown hydroponically and fed doses of LSD. And the LSD migrates to the new, I don't know what you call it, a fetus, an embryo, an egg? Well, anyway, the LSD concentrates somewhere in that embryo, and the freeze-drying process puts it into a state of suspended animation until swallowed by the user, and then it starts to grow, releasing the LSD directly into the brain. So far, there have been no fatalities, but I fear that's just a matter of time. And I think there's probably a couple of things I should probably explain about Mo and Tanya's relationship. You see, Mo is an attack-trained gorilla, a police gorilla, you know, like the old police dogs. And Tanya was his trainer. She was an Olympic skater, yes, but she was a full-time police gorilla trainer. And the guys down at the station used to kid us about Mo and Tanya being married. That's wife, I called him, or her, his wife. But Mo and Tanya's relationship was more than gorilla and gorilla trainer. Mo was special because Tanya taught him how to sign, so Mo could effectively talk, which made him a better choice than using a police dog or a canine unit. But Mo even surprised Tanya, surpassed his training, and learned to understand words. Mo's been with me for 5 years now. He's probably the best partner I ever had. But there's still some more surprising things to know about Mo. Mo now knows how to read and write. Sometimes I think he's even smarter than I am. I think eventually Mo will even learn how to do all this bullshit paperwork and I won't have to do it anymore. Just like police dogs live with their counterparts, with their partners, Mo also lives with me. He really surprised me one day when I got up and there was a note on the table. Went for a walk. I about shit my pants. Of course, I wanted to tell the whole world about it, but I thought it would be best just to keep it under wraps. I didn't even tell Tanya. And that part about me being the father, well, that was true. You see, Tanya and I had been seeing each other for about 8 months, and we just got engaged last week. And because Mo can understand words, and he heard the guys kidding us about Tanya being his wife, I think he thinks that they were mates. And I don't want him to know that Tanya was pregnant. I don't know how that might upset him. Since this murder investigation began, there's a lot of things that are going on. A lot of new information has come to light. This whole investigation has turned into one great big ball of worms. I mean, with everybody that's involved, you know, Louis, Big Blue, I Can Get You Off, the unknown woman on the hot cycle. I will get you off. And this new hallucinogenic drug. And how to effectively use senile without getting him killed. There's a lot going on in this. I'm not sure how it's all going to turn out. But stay tuned for the next episode of Sergeant Detective Sergeant Razor Sharp.